The sun began its descent, casting long shadows across the vast expanse of the American landscape. A golden glow painted the horizon, a breathtaking backdrop for the ribbon of asphalt that stretched out endlessly before them. This was the highway, a symbol of freedom and possibility, and it was on this highway that the Tanner family journeyed. Their vehicle, a sturdy station wagon that had seen its fair share of miles, hummed along, carrying a precious cargo of dreams, aspirations, and the unbreakable bonds of family. Inside, a symphony of life unfolded. 8 children, a testament to the love and commitment of their parents, filled the car with a mixture of laughter, chatter, and the occasional sibling squabble. For some, the monotony of the long drive had lulled them into a peaceful slumber, their heads resting against one another in a tangle of limbs. The rhythmic hum of the engine provided a soothing soundtrack, a lullaby for weary travelers. Outside, the world whizzed by in a blur of colors and motion, a constant reminder that life was a journey, ever-changing and full of surprises. As the miles turned over, the setting sun cast an ethereal glow on the passing scenery. Fields of corn stretched out like emerald oceans, their stalks swaying gently in the breeze. Farmhouses, their windows glowing with warm light, dotted the landscape, offering glimpses into the lives of those who called this place home. The highway, a constant presence, connected them all, weaving together the tapestry of their individual stories. And within the cozy confines of the Tanner family car, a young boy, his eyes wide with wonder, absorbed every detail of the journey. The Tanner family, a testament to enduring strength and love within the African American community. Ray and Emma Tanner, pillars of their family, navigated parenthood with grace and humor. Ray's quiet strength and work ethic guided his family. Emma's warmth and resilience held the family together. Together, they created a home filled with love and laughter. Their 8 children brought vibrant energy and unique personalities. Despite occasional squabbles, their bond was unbreakable. They faced life's challenges and adventures together. Amidst the bustling activity of the car, a young Malcolm Tanner, his bright eyes taking in the world with an insatiable curiosity, found himself captivated by the unfolding journey. At the tender age of 3, his young mind was already a sponge, soaking up every sight, sound, and experience with an eagerness that was both endearing and inspiring. The open road, a symbol of limitless possibilities, filled him with a sense of awe and wonder. He observed his parents with an intensity that belied his young age, fascinated by their every interaction, their quiet conversations, and the unspoken understanding that flowed between them. In his father's steady hands on the steering wheel, he saw strength and determination. In his mother's gentle smile, he felt love and reassurance. Their presence, a constant in his ever-changing world, provided him with a sense of security and belonging. Every mile marker that whizzed by, every change in scenery, every roadside attraction they passed, sparked his imagination, fueling a thirst for knowledge and a desire to explore the world beyond the familiar confines of their home. The car, a microcosm of their family life, became his classroom, his playground, and his sanctuary. Within its walls, he learned about the importance of family, the value of hard work, and the resilience of the human spirit. And as the sun began to dip below the horizon, casting long shadows across the highway, young Malcolm, lost in his own thoughts and observations, felt a sense of excitement building within him. He knew that this journey, like all journeys, would eventually come to an end. But the lessons he learned, the memories he made, and the unbreakable bonds he forged with his family would stay with him always, shaping the man he would one day become. The highway stretched out before them, a seemingly endless ribbon of asphalt bathed in the warm hues of the setting sun. The Tanner family car hummed along, carrying its precious cargo towards home. But a discordant note entered the symphony of their journey. A subtle sputter hinted at a disruption.
Ray, honey, did you feel that?
She struggled to find the right word. Another sputter shook the car, jolting its occupants. The children stirred, their murmurs adding to the unease.
Don't worry, Emma, probably just a little hiccup. I'll pull over at the next exit and take a look.
Ray gripped the steering wheel tighter, trying to project calm. He forced a smile, hoping to quell his own anxiety. The last thing he wanted was for his family to be stranded on the side of the road. The rumble strips along the highway provided a jarring soundtrack to their unscheduled stop. Ray carefully steered the sputtering car onto the gravel. The engine fell silent, broken only by crickets and distant traffic.
All right, everyone, looks like we're taking a little break. Stay put while I check things out.
The setting sun cast long shadows across the deserted road. Ray turned to his family, concern and determination on his face. He stepped out into the dusk, the car door slamming. Emma watched him go, quieting the children.
Shh, kids, let Dad focus.
Ray popped the hood, releasing a plume of steam. The engine, a tangle of wires and hoses, stared back at him. Ray retrieved a toolbox from the trunk. He immersed himself in the task, movements efficient and precise. The setting sun cast his silhouette against the twilight sky. He knew his family was depending on him. He would find the problem, fix it, and get them back on the road. The air hung heavy with the smell of engine grease, and the sweet fragrance of honeysuckle carried on the evening breeze. Inside the car, the initial excitement had given way to a restless impatience. The younger children bickered and squabbled, their voices rising and falling. Emma, her patience wearing thin, resorted to threats and admonishments. Amidst the chaos, young Malcolm sat quietly, his gaze fixed on his father. The sight of his father, his brow furrowed in concentration, filled him with awe. His father's quiet strength and capability seemed boundless. Malcolm saw a reflection of love and commitment to family. A seed was planted in Malcolm's heart, a passion for understanding how things worked. He dreamed of making a difference in the world. Time seemed to stretch and warp as the sun continued its descent, painting the sky in vibrant hues of orange, purple, and gold. The air, once thick with the day's heat, began to cool, a welcome relief from the stifling confines of the car. Still, the children grew restless, their patience wearing thin as the novelty of an unexpected stop faded. Emma, her own anxiety mounting, did her best to maintain order. But even her usual arsenal of distractions and admonishments seemed to have lost their effectiveness. Through it all, Malcolm remained fixated on his father, his small frame perched on the edge of his seat, his eyes never leaving his father's form.
Come on, Dad, you can do it.
He watched as his father, his face now illuminated by the soft glow of the flashlight, continued to work tirelessly, his movements becoming more urgent as darkness enveloped them. The weight of responsibility, the knowledge that his family's well-being rested on his shoulders, was evident in every line of his father's body, in the determined set of his jaw, in the focused intensity of his gaze.
I wish I could help him.
At that moment, Malcolm felt a surge of empathy for his father, a newfound understanding of the burdens he carried. He saw the sweat staining his father's brow, the dirt smudged on his hands, the weariness etched into his features, and he realized that being a father wasn't always easy, that it came with a weight of responsibility that extended far beyond providing food and shelter. It meant being strong, even when you were tired. It meant being resourceful, even when faced with unexpected challenges. It meant putting your family's needs before your own, even when it meant sacrificing your own comfort and convenience. As darkness fell and the first stars began to twinkle in the night sky, Malcolm felt a profound sense of gratitude for his father, for the sacrifices he made, for the love he so readily gave. He knew that he would never be able to fully comprehend the depth of his father's love, but in that moment, he caught a glimpse, a fleeting understanding of the sacrifices that came with being a father, a protector, a provider. And in that understanding, a new level of respect and admiration for his father took root in young Malcolm's heart. The highway stretched out before them, swallowed by the growing darkness. The stars twinkled like celestial fireflies, casting an ethereal glow. Inside the car, a weary silence had fallen. Just when their spirits were at their lowest, a neon sign emerged. Burger stop, promising warmth and sustenance. The children began to stir, their sleepy murmurs filling the car.
Oh, finally, something to eat.
The aroma hit them first, a wave of savory goodness that seemed to seep into the very fabric of the car. Grilled beef, sizzling onions, the sweet tang of ketchup and mustard, the scent of 1,000 childhood memories, of family vacations and roadside adventures, of shared meals and laughter echoing through greasy spoons and diners across America. As Ray pulled the car into the gravel parking lot, its headlights illuminating the brightly lit diner, a sense of anticipation, a yearning for the familiar and the comforting, washed over them. The Burger Stop, a modest establishment with its red vinyl booths, checkered floors, and chrome-edged counter, was a haven of warmth and light in the vast darkness of the night. The air buzzed with the sounds of conversation and laughter, the clinking of glasses and the sizzle of burgers hitting the grill, creating a symphony of human connection that enveloped them like a warm embrace. Families huddled together in booths, their faces illuminated by the glow of menu boards, their voices blending in a chorus of shared stories and laughter. For the Tanner family, this stop was more than just a chance to satisfy their hunger. It was an opportunity to shed the weariness of the road, to step out of the confines of their car and into a space where they could relax, reconnect, and reclaim a sense of normalcy. As they settled into their booth, the children's earlier restlessness forgotten as they eagerly scanned the menu. A sense of belonging, of being part of something larger than themselves, settled over them. The waitress, a kind-faced woman with a warm smile and a twinkle in her eye, greeted them like old friends, her easy banter and genuine warmth putting them at ease. As she took their orders, patiently navigating the children's indecision and Emma's gentle reminders to mind their manners, a sense of gratitude, of appreciation for the simple things in life, filled Ray's heart.
Thank you so much, we really needed this.
In that moment, surrounded by the aroma of greasy spoons and the sounds of laughter, they were no longer just a family on a long and arduous journey. They were home. The arrival of their food was met with delighted squeals and excited chatter. Burgers, piled high with lettuce, tomato, and onion, glistened under the heat lamps. French fries, golden brown and piled high, beckoned with their salty goodness. Milkshakes, thick and creamy, promised sweet relief. As the family dug in, a sense of contentment settled over them. With a wink, the waitress placed a paper crown on Malcolm's head.
There you go, young man. You look like a king to me.
Wow, thank you.
Malcolm, eyes wide with wonder, beamed with pride. He was royalty, a ruler of his own little kingdom. The landscape transformed as they drew closer to Chicago. Gone were the endless fields of corn. In their place rose a forest of concrete and steel. Buildings stretched towards the heavens.
Wow, look at those buildings. They're so tall.
The air now carried a blend of exhaust fumes and street food. It was the smell of possibility and ambition. The city pulsated with energy.
I can't believe how different it is here.
Familiar landmarks of Chicago emerged. The Sears Tower became a beacon. Lake Michigan reflected the city's lights.
It feels like we're in a whole new world.
To young Malcolm, Chicago felt like another planet. The city promised adventure and a glimpse into a world far beyond his imagination. Their arrival at Uncle Sidney's house was marked by a sense of familiarity, a comforting routine that eased the transition from the open road to the bustling city. The car, its exterior coated in a fine layer of road dust, pulled up to the curb in front of a modest brick brownstone. The front yard, a patch of green amidst the concrete jungle, boasted a neatly trimmed lawn and vibrant geraniums.
Welcome, welcome, it's so good to see you all.
Inside, the house exuded a warmth that stemmed from years of shared laughter and enduring family bonds. The air, thick with the aroma of spices, carried the weight of countless stories. It was a place where time seemed to move at a slower pace, replaced by the comforting rhythm of family life.
Uncle Sidney, I missed you so much.
Uncle Sidney, his face creased with a lifetime of smiles, greeted them at the door with genuine affection. The children, their initial shyness quickly forgotten, rushed to greet their uncle.
Look at you all, growing up so fast.
As Ray and Emma exchanged warm greetings with Uncle Sydney, their conversation punctuated by laughter. Malcolm observed the scene with a quiet intensity, drawn to his uncle's quiet strength and unwavering kindness. The warmth of Uncle Sydney's house extended beyond the gentle hum of the radiator, enveloping them in a comforting embrace. But for young Malcolm, still acclimating to the unfamiliar surroundings, the heat held a different kind of intensity. Drawn to the source of warmth, his small hand reached out, instinctively drawn to the glowing metal fins of the radiator.
Ouch!
The sensation was immediate and unforgettable. A sharp, searing pain that shot through his hand, forcing him to recoil with a gasp of surprise. Tears welled up in his eyes, the sting of the burn amplified by the shock of the unexpected sensation.
Malcolm, honey, what did I tell you about touching things that don't belong to you?
Malcolm, his lower lip trembling, could only manage a sniffle in response. The lesson, learned through the searing language of pain, was etched into his memory. Uncle Sydney's house, a place of warmth and familiarity, also held hidden boundaries, unspoken rules that governed the delicate dance between respect and curiosity.
I'm sorry, Mom, I didn't mean to.
As the initial sting subsided, replaced by a dull throb, Malcolm observed the radiator with a newfound wariness. The object of his fascination had transformed into a symbol of caution, a reminder that the world was filled with both wonder and potential danger. The burn, though painful, had imparted a valuable lesson, a lesson not just about physical boundaries, but also about respecting the space and belongings of others. Their journey continued, venturing deeper into the heart of Chicago. The city, a tapestry of human experience, unfolded before them, each street corner revealing a new story.
Towering skyscrapers contrasted with graffiti-laden alleyways and the hum of traffic.
The streets teemed with life. People from all walks of life navigated the urban landscape with practiced ease.
Street vendors hawked their wares, their voices competing with car horns and sirens. Music spilled from open doorways, infusing the air with energy.
To young Malcolm, the city felt like a living organism, a complex network of interconnected lives. The overwhelming sensory input left him feeling both exhilarated and slightly overwhelmed. It was a far cry from his hometown, a reminder of endless possibilities.
As they drove through neighborhoods, Malcolm observed the stark contrasts. Upscale boutiques stood in stark juxtaposition to dilapidated buildings.
The city reflected both the beauty and struggles of human existence. Leaving Uncle Sydney's home, the Tanner family piled into their station wagon. The city, a labyrinth of concrete and steel, stretched out before them, its energy palpable, the air thick with city sounds. For me, the car journey was an adventure. I watched, mesmerized, as the cityscape unfolded. Each turn brought new scenes into view. The journey became a metaphor for life's ever-evolving nature. The car slowed to a stop in front of a two-story brick building, its facade weathered by time and the elements. A wrought iron fence, rusted with age, enclosed a small front yard where a lone oak tree cast a dappled shade. This was Auntie Laura's house, a place that held both familiarity and a hint of unease for young Malcolm.
Stepping out of the car, I was greeted by a wave of unfamiliar sensations. The air hung heavy with the scent of cigarette smoke and something vaguely floral.
The sound of multiple meows, some high-pitched and insistent, others low and guttural, reached his ears. He hesitated at the threshold, his senses slightly overwhelmed by the unfamiliar sights, sounds, and smells.
Inside, the house was a whirlwind of activity, a stark contrast to the relative order and calm of Uncle Sydney's home. Cats of all shapes and sizes darted underfoot, their sleek bodies brushing against my legs.
The air, thick with the scent of incense and something vaguely sweet and cloying, clung to his clothes. Malcolm, his senses on high alert, navigated the cluttered living room with cautious steps.
Oh, Malcolm, don't be shy. Come in, come in. The cats won't bite, I promise.
The television, tuned to a daytime talk show, blared in the background, its volume competing with the chatter of adults. Auntie Laura, her voice a gravelly baritone honed by years of laughter and cigarette smoke, held court from her perch on a floral-patterned armchair.
Overwhelmed by the sensory overload, I retreated to a corner of the room, seeking refuge in the relative quiet of my own thoughts.
As the afternoon stretched into evening, Malcolm found himself drawn to Auntie Laura's side. Perhaps it was her infectious laugh, or the way her eyes twinkled with mischief. She wasn't his grandmother, but her love transcended any definition of family. Auntie Laura, a force of nature, filled their time with laughter and warmth. The memories of sweet tea and her comforting presence stayed with him. The contrast between Uncle Sidney's home and Auntie Laura's was stark, a microcosm of the diverse tapestry that made up their extended family. Uncle Sidney's house, a place of order and quiet routines, where the air was filled with the comforting aroma of home-cooked meals that Mama Emma told the kids not to ask for, and the gentle hum of conversation represented a sense of stability, a grounding force in the whirlwind of their Chicago visits.
Uncle Sidney's home felt like a place where every object had its place, and he moved with a quiet grace that spoke of a life lived with intention.
He learned to find solace in the predictability of their routines, the shared meals, the quiet evenings spent reading books or listening to his uncle's stories of a bygone era. At Auntie Laura's, Malcolm learned to embrace the chaos, to find joy in the unexpected.
I learned to navigate the maze of furniture and feline obstacles, to decipher the meaning behind Auntie Laura's cryptic pronouncements, and to appreciate the warmth of her laughter, even when it was directed at my own expense.
He learned that family came in all shapes and sizes, that love could be expressed in 1,000 different ways, and that sometimes the most chaotic households were also the most loving.
Through these contrasting experiences, I began to develop a deep appreciation for the diversity of human experience, understanding that there was no one right way to live, to love, to create a home.
He learned that acceptance, tolerance, and an open mind were essential tools for navigating the complexities of life, and that the most valuable lessons were often learned in the most unexpected places. The Tanner family's Chicago escapades often involved memorable accommodations. This trip was no different. Uncle Sidney recommended a peculiar, budget-friendly hotel.
Ray raised an eyebrow at the concrete fortress, a bizarre symphony of clashing architectural styles.
Malcolm craned his neck, the air thick with exhaust fumes and a hint of chlorine.
My siblings tumbled out, their excitement turning to curiosity and apprehension.
The lobby, a massive square-shaped atrium, was shadowy and strange, with balconies overlooking the open expanse.
The balconies lacked railings, offering an unobstructed, dizzying view of the ground floor.
Malcolm, holding his father's hand, felt uneasy in the stifling, smoky air.
Distant conversations echoed, creating a disorienting cacophony.
The hotel felt like a living entity, designed to disorient and unsettle. The trek to their room felt like an odyssey in itself. They navigated a maze of dimly lit hallways, the air thick with the smell of disinfectant and something faintly musty. The flickering fluorescent lights overhead cast long, distorted shadows on the walls.
Daddy, can we get there soon?
Malcolm, his small legs struggling to keep up, kept his eyes fixed on his father's back. Finally, they reached their destination, a door at the end of a seemingly endless hallway. Ray fumbled with the key, his frustration mounting.
Just a moment, Malcolm. We're almost there.
Malcolm, his patience wearing thin, shifted nervously. He couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. At last, the door swung open, revealing a nondescript, depressing room. 2 double beds, their mattresses sagging, dominated the small space. A single bare bulb cast a sickly yellow glow.
This isn't what I thought it would be.
Malcolm felt a wave of disappointment wash over him. But it was the balcony that truly terrified him. Stepping out, Malcolm felt a wave of dizziness. The ground seemed miles away, beckoning with a terrifying allure. He clung to his mother's hand, his knuckles white with fear.
Mommy, I'm scared.
It's okay, baby. Mommy's here. You're safe.
Emma, her own apprehension about the hotel momentarily forgotten, knelt down in front of her son, her gaze meeting his with a warmth and understanding that only a mother could provide. She gently brushed a stray curl away from his forehead, her touch a calming presence in the face of his mounting fear.
It's okay, baby. Mommy's here. You're safe.
She wrapped her arms around him, holding him close as if to shield him from the unseen dangers that lurked both inside and outside the hotel walls. Malcolm, his small body trembling with a mixture of fear and relief, buried his face in the crook of her neck, inhaling the familiar scent of her perfume. A scent that spoke of home, of security, of a love that knew no bounds. In her embrace, he found solace, a temporary reprieve from the unsettling reality of their surroundings.
Look at me, Malcolm. See that wall over there?
Emma gently tilted his chin up so that their eyes met, pointing to the far wall of the balcony, a solid expanse of concrete that seemed to offer a sense of security in the otherwise open space.
I want you to stay close to that wall, okay? Don't go near the edge.
Malcolm, his gaze fixed on the wall as if it were a lifeline, nodded slowly. His mother's words, spoken with a quiet authority that brooked no argument, had a calming effect on him. He knew that as long as he stayed close to her, as long as he obeyed her instructions, he would be safe. And so, for the duration of their stay in that peculiar, unsettling hotel, Malcolm made the wall his sanctuary, a solid, dependable barrier between himself and the terrifying expanse of open space that lay beyond. The Tanner family ventured from Auntie Laura's home into the heart of Jewtown.
Wow, this place is amazing!
The air, thick with the scent of spices and grilling meat, filled Malcolm's nostrils.
Stay close, Malcolm. There's a lot to take in here.
Malcolm, his hand clasped in his father's, navigated the crowded streets with excitement.
Look at all these wonderful things, Malcolm. Isn't it just incredible?
I've never seen anything like this before.
Malcolm felt a sense of wonder and excitement that he would carry with him long after they left this extraordinary place. For young Malcolm, Jewtown was a feast for the senses.
Wow, look at that!
He watched, mesmerized, as a street vendor skillfully tossed dough high into the air.
How do they do that?
He marveled at the intricate patterns woven into a tapestry.
This is amazing!
Each step through the market unveiled a new treasure, sparking his imagination.
Where do these things come from? Who are these people? What is this spice?
His parents patiently answered his questions, weaving a narrative about history and culture.
So everything has a story?
Malcolm's sense of wonder began to give way to a flicker of longing.
I wish I had a kite like that.
He passed a stall overflowing with handcrafted wooden toys.
Look at those toys, they're so cool!
He longed for the kite, imagining himself running through open fields.
Mommy, can I have this, please?
Malcolm, we can't buy everything you see.
But her words seemed to fall on deaf ears.
But I really want it.
Malcolm's journey through Jewtown became a lesson in understanding desire and contentment.
Malcolm, I know you're excited by all the wonderful things you see here, but we can't always have everything we want, can we?
Ray knelt down, his gaze meeting his son's.
You see, son, every time we want something, it's like carrying a little weight on our shoulders.
He pointed to a nearby vendor selling fresh fruit.
Look at those beautiful oranges, Malcolm. Wanting every single orange we see won't make them taste any better, will it?
Malcolm shook his head slowly. He began to understand that true happiness was about possessing everything he wanted and making sure he gets it. As they continued their journey, Malcolm's steps were a little lighter. The familiar hum of the engine provided a comforting soundtrack as the Tanner family embarked on the final leg of their journey. The children succumbed to the lure of sleep, their soft snores a gentle counterpoint to the rhythmic whir of the tires.
I wanted to savor these last moments, to hold on to the memories of our Chicago adventures.
Malcolm closed his eyes, the sights and sounds of their journey replaying behind his eyelids. Each experience had left its mark on him, shaping his perceptions. He had learned, grown, and emerged with a deeper appreciation for the complexities of life. As the miles ticked by, the landscape outside the car window gradually shifted.
Home isn't just a place, but a feeling, a sense of belonging and unconditional love.
Malcolm's young mind struggled to make sense of the kaleidoscope of impressions from their Chicago trip. He had witnessed the stark contrasts within a single city.
I had learned the importance of patience, the value of hard work, the power of observation.
He had discovered that family came in all shapes and sizes. He had confronted his own fears and discovered a strength within himself.
As the car rolled closer to home, I realized that the journey didn't end when we crossed the threshold of our own front door.
He carried those experiences within him, a treasure trove of knowledge and wisdom. They would continue to unfold and reveal themselves over time. Through it all, the one constant had been his family. They had embarked on this journey together, a unit navigating the challenges and triumphs as one. They had faced the unknown together, their bond strengthened by the shared experience.
I had come to understand that family wasn't just about blood ties, but about the people who loved you unconditionally.
It was about the shared history, the inside jokes, the unspoken language. It was about the feeling of belonging, of knowing that you always had a safe haven. As the car pulled into the driveway of their home, a sense of peace washed over Malcolm.
I knew that life would continue to present its challenges, but I also knew that I could face them with courage.
He carried within him the memories of a journey that had changed him, shaped him, and prepared him for the adventures that lay ahead.